Hello and welcome to the Venari podcast. Today I am joined by Ari Tulla. So Ari is the CEO and founder of Elo Health. So Elo's big vision is to transform food from the cause of disease to medicine. So today they use biomarkers and cutting-edge AI along with expert guidance to deliver supplements calibrated for unique needs and with precision. So welcome, Ari. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Good to be here.
I kind of want to start a little bit at the beginning, really. Tell us a little bit more about, your background prior to founding Elo and, what led you to founding your own company, essentially.
Yeah, sure. I'm a techie by upbringing, and I got to use computers since I was, I don't know, 7 years old back in 80s. And but how did I end up into healthcare and work in nutrition from video games and mobile devices and apps? It's all about my personal experiences with health. My wife had a thyroid tumor about 20 plus years ago that led into a lot of complications. There was a tumor taken out and half the thyroid went with it. So it led into autoimmune disease, hormonal imbalances, these complicated unknowns we don't know about. And we paddled about a decade to fix the issues. We've used Western medicine, Eastern medicine, and in the end, diet and nutrition was one of the key pieces in the puzzle to help her body heal itself. And today we have two beautiful children as a mark of, food being medicine. Mm-hmm. And we were basically said that we will never have a family. And now we do. So I became a massive believer in nutrition, in the power of discipline and lifestyle changes. And also, I learned a lot about the healthcare system in Europe and in the US over the last 15 years. And I really became committed that my time is best spent by investing my time in trying to build new companies, helping other people to build new companies in the space of healthcare. It's very meaningful. And I always try to tell people that, do you really want to build another Twitter, or maybe you should build something meaningful that can help people's lives?
So tell us more about specifically what, Elo Health does and also kind of the interesting AI element to it as well.
Yeah, so today, of course, AI is the craze. It used to be crypto, NFTs, and mobile, and many things in the past. But today, I firmly believe that AI is one of these things that is finally now going to happen and change our lives more than anything else that we have had in our lifetime. I think AI is in the realm of things like wheel and fire and locomotive or steam engine back in the days. It's one of those 4 or 5 big things that happened to humanity and will change the landscape forever. So what we do at Elo, we are trying to build a system that is helping you to get the right nutrition at the right time. We are doing it in a way that we are assessing your body. We are taking information from it in a form of blood biomarkers. We do blood testing. We also are collecting the data from all your wearable device that you have today, as many of us do have. And then, of course, we do assessment as your doctor will do based on questionnaires and stuff like that. And we take the information, we feed it into AI model, and that model is then spitting out the right nutrition plan that you need. What are the gaps you have? What can we do to help you fill them? And we don't give you a PDF. We don't give you guidance. Well, we do give guidance also in the form of a dietitian that works with you one-on-one. But we really are trying to give you the nutrition and send it to you into your kitchen counter directly, automatically. And I hope in the future we also can deliver you meals and groceries that are made for you based on who you are, what your body is telling us.
When we've spoken in the past, we both discussed how, since COVID, it seems that there's like a common trend as well, I think, across Western countries, particularly around, decreasing life expectancy and, how health systems are kind of declining in what they offer and et cetera. I'm kind of wondering, why do you think that is? And I suppose, what can we do about it?
Yeah, this is a thing that I don't think you maybe have heard about or you don't read in the news every day. It's not very positive topic to talk about. But the bottom line is this: we now have a declining trend in life expectancy. This is happening first time ever in human history. We have one moment in time, or two moments in time in the past. We had Black Death in Europe that killed 1/3 of the population. That was a dip in life expectancy. We also had one in the Second World War. But this is now the third time we are seeing it happening. And in principle, we have lost about 4 or 5 years of life expectancy in the last 5 years. And the difference is now pretty dramatic. I mean, Europe is doing a bit better. US is not doing well at all. We have some groups of population today, African Americans, we have Native Americans. Many of them are not living, the men especially, are not living beyond 70. The lowest group life expectancy is around 69. That is the same as in sub-Saharan Africa, in the most severe countries in the world where we have big issues in nutrition and food security. At the same time, the men in Japan are closing slowly 90. I think they're like 84 or so. Average American, like myself, I'm going to live 13 years less than the average man in Japan. That's a big gap, 13 years. We are not talking about 1%. We're talking about 15, 20% of life expectancy. So what to do about it and why it happened today? COVID has a big impact. We have mental health issues, and we have overall like bad feeling. People are a bit hopeless, many people. So that is explorating. And of course, COVID had a big impact in the last few years. But the bottom line is that, we have to do something about it. And we are not as resilient as people as we used to be before, because we've been eating the Western diet. We've been living the stationary lifestyle for a long time. And think about it. In the US today, 70 to 80% of adult population are overweight, depending how you count overweight. The obesity rate in Japan is around 4%. Think about it. 50% to 4% if you compare US and Japan, for example. The diet in Japan is very different than what we have here in the US. And I think the bottom line reason overall is that we have been bringing the US processed food diet to every part of the globe today. And now everybody are basically getting sick of it. So we have to change the way we feed people and how we eat. We also have to change, of course, the way how we live our life. We need to be sleeping more. We need to be moving a bit more. We don't need to be running marathons, but we need to go out and walk and move. Many people don't do any of that. So we know what to do, but it's a very difficult thing to do because people are addicted to the food we are eating today. And also it's very difficult to control these things. We often say, somebody is obese, it's their fault. No, obesity is a lot like a mental health or health condition. We don't say people who have heart disease, it's your fault. Maybe it is, but we treat them. So we need to find better treatments and help people, and ideally help people before they are sick. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do with my company today and with a lot of my investments I do.
It's almost common sense in a way that should be the way that we move forward. But there is obviously a huge expense around that and, kind of cost benefit analysis and things. But I think where we've talked in the past has been like how, AI can revolutionize this in order to make it, accessible and, cost effective for all. And how do we think that we can kind of play that? What's the logical next step in that case?
Yeah, so many people say that one key reason why we are not able to do behavior change, that what we need to do, is because the system is against it. We agree on that. But at the same time, we don't get any support. If you think about it, you work with your healthcare clinic or your doctor, you maybe meet them once a year if you're lucky. Once a year, you have maybe an hour. I mean, that's not enough. Think about how much time you spend with your personal trainer. You meet them maybe 2 or 3 times a week. You spend, 100 hours plus a year. We need the same cadence, the same amount of time and care. Not everybody can have a personal trainer. Not everybody can have a personal, coach or nutritionist or nurse. But in the next, few years, I think we will all have a bot of some type. It could be a nurse bot, it could be a nutrition bot, it could be even a doctor that is with you all the time that you can talk to. And that, I think, in my opinion, will really change the way how people live, because we need help, we need coaching. And the latest trend is, and I think the outcomes that come from a lot of studies is that many people, most people actually, are more willing to talk openly with an AI than with a random person that they don't know who is in a healthcare system. So we actually are confident, we tend to trust that bot, and many people even like them better as humans. There was a study done a long time ago with VA. They built this sort of a cyborg that was talking to people with PTSD, stress syndrome, and what happened was that the people preferred the bot to a person, and this is already a long time ago. And now the bot, of course, is much better, and it will get better in leaps and bounds in the next coming years. So let's have everybody a coach and a buddy and a support function. We can debate about, will that change the landscape of humanity? Are we going to date bots? Are we going to, I mean, yes, I think we do all those, but that in this instance, I think it can really help people to change their behavior and get healthier.
Fantastic. And is Elo Health kind of progressing in that way as well, in terms of your, in terms of strategy moving forward?
There will be many thousands of companies who are going to play this game, and there will be specialized thing for everything. I think at Elo, we are slowly progressing in the direction that we would be able to give people more real-time support on the nutrition. We have the same problem. We have, dietitians that are assigned to everybody. You can open the app and you can have a chat with the person right then and there, but there's always some latency. Like at night, you might not have anyone answering immediately.
Yeah.
And I think the difference in this instance is that if the AI can talk to you then and there and have a back and forth conversation when you need the support, that has a big difference. Because you have latency, maybe like 2 hours a day, you're gonna ask something and you expect to have yes or no answer or recommendation. But if you can do a dialogue like we do here, it can go much further. It can become much deeper and much more trustworthy.
I completely agree. And I think that the areas you're going to see, I think mental health in particular is an area where you can see it just working significantly better in that sense. It's exactly when needed, really, in any kind of emergency. But I mean, it's exciting to see how it's all going to progress. And, again, I know that we're both very passionate about this particular topic and could probably talk all day, really. But, it's been a pleasure, to speak with you, Ari, and talk it through. And, thanks again for joining us.
No, thank you.